Good afternoon, everybody, and this is Kristen from Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage. I would like to first thank you for viewing my virtual presentation. In this presentation, I'm going to briefly touch on the different things that Coldwell Banker, as well as myself, do to help market and advertise our listings. The first question I want to answer is everybody asks me, do you come to my home? And I absolutely do. Before I list any home, I always go and we go over the comparables and as well as what we can do specifically for your home. Each home requires a different amount of work to be done before I can go on the market. Some require a lot, some can require none. So this is just an overview so you can get an idea of what I do for my listings as well as my company without having to necessarily make the commitment of a broker coming into your home. I hope you find all the information helpful, and if you have any questions, please you can feel free to either call me directly or even utilize the chat feature here on my website, and I will answer any questions that I can for you. The very first thing I ask all of my homeowners, and I will do this when I'm in your home as well, is ask you, why are you moving? Some people are moving and they need to move quickly. If they're relocating for work or for family, then time is of the essence, and we want to make sure that we market you properly and position you properly in the market to make sure that your home sells quickly. Something we often recommend to sellers who need to move their home as quickly as possible is power pricing. And I will briefly touch on power pricing now, but again, pricing is something that I can only do when I'm in your home, and I've pulled the comps not only as far as price, but we need to see how long homes in your neighborhood are taking to sell. If every home in your neighborhood is taking about 6 months, then realistically selling yours in 2 it may not be possible. So again, it's not only about pricing your home correctly, but it's giving the agent the right amount of time to get you some qualified buyers and bring you some offers. I'm going to briefly explain to you what power pricing is in the next PowerPoint slide that I do have available. But again, pricing is something that I do only in your home, and I go over the comps directly with you. Power pricing is where you look at the comparables in your area and you price your home between $10,000 to $15,000 underneath the normal market value. What this does is it's going to enhance the buyer's perception of value. It's going to cause a lot of traffic in the home, and it's going to cause some multiple offers. Many times multiple offers will result in a bidding war and you getting possibly above market value for your home. Now, one of the first things I like to explain to homeowners who are listing their home on the market is that today's market is a buyer's market, but that means a few different things. Because now the buyers are much more educated than they were in previous years, they're not willing to overpay for a home, and they're utilizing technology. And they'll only usually go out and see about 10 houses before they find the one that is perfect for them. You want to make sure that you have an agent that is able to go ahead and keep up with technology to keep these buyers motivated and also willing to educate them. Our market is filled with first-time home buyers. You need to make sure that your agent is willing to be present during your showings and to help these buyers along with any questions they may have, because they all may seem silly to us because we're homeowners, but we have to remember this is their first big purchase. So you want to make sure that you have an agent that is willing to utilize technology to help your buyers along in the process. I always say that in order to sell a home in today's market, you have to cater to today's buyers. And a big, huge part of that is technology. And it also has to do with what you do to market your home. Each home will have qualities that are going to be better than its competition. You want to make sure that you market it and show the unique qualities that your home has that another may not. We're going to go over all of the different tips to help you market your home and show them exactly how unique it is. The most important thing we need to do as realtors when we list your home is make sure it is exposed to the buyer pool. We, of course, do this both locally and nationally by putting it on the multiple listing service, as well as our company website, Coldwell Banker Moves. We do local online publications, as well as additional branding on different real estate websites. We, of course, do our open houses, our media advertising, making sure that your brochures are done properly, social networking sites as well. I'm going to go over each of these topics in detail in the next coming segment. I want to take a moment and talk a little bit more about some of the things that we do for our online marketing. Previously, if you had a home and it was on the market, it of course went to the internet, but you had no way of knowing how many times your home had been viewed. And buyers are now using the internet as like a mini open house. So you always want to make sure you know exactly how many people are viewing your house. Coldwell Banker's technology now allows for us to pull up how many times your home has had a detailed view. So we have an online showing report that you get sent weekly via email, which shows you on each website how many times it was pulled up in a detailed view. Additionally, previously, if you had a listing online, you were given the option of 2 or 3 different realtors to contact. Coldwell Banker does not allow another realtor to advertise our listings. If any buyer goes to our websites, specifically Trulia, Zillow, AOL Homes, MSN, and Cablevision, just to name a few, we are actually a branded website, which means instead of them being directed to numerous realtors, all of the leads will come directly to your listing agent. Another key part of this is how long it takes for a buyer to be responded to. Coldwell Banker created the home base system, so within 2 minutes of your buyer inquiring about the home, it comes directly through to our cell phones, which means we can respond to them whether we're in the office or we're at home. This is a great tool, especially because a lot of people will look in the evening or they'll look on the lunch hour, and you need to be able to contact them right away. Another tool that I chose to put on my website is the chat feature. It's not something that every website has. Sometimes I find that people aren't so quick to necessarily request information because they feel like they're going to be harassed. By giving them the ability to have no commitment, but ask me any simple questions they may have, sometimes I've gotten IMs at 10:30 at night, and I'm able to have a conversation with them, set them at ease, give them their answers, and still get their information. Another feature I added to my website is the ability that they can schedule their own appointment to view the house. It requires them to, of course, give me their first, their last name, a phone number, and an email. And it allows them to set up an appointment right away. So they don't feel like they're going to try and be marketed to another home, but they're scheduling an appointment to see your home specifically. Again, it's all about availability, and it's a matter of utilizing the technology that we have. I will always stress technology. It's a great thing, and it's a great way to set your house apart, because if somebody can't get into a house, they're not going to try that hard. If they try 2 or 3 times and they're not able to, it's going to fall off of their list. So by giving them 2 or 3 different options on how to be able to see your home, it sets your home apart. It's another way to make your home unique. I want to take a moment and delve a little bit deeper into the local online publications, the social media websites, and the media advertising aspect of listing your home. I am personally involved in quite a few different local publications. What I am involved in is the online publications. Each one of your towns have them. It's the patch.com, and it's your local online paper. I write 2 different articles for them. Weekly, they get the Real Estate Roundup, which advertises your local open houses and keeps your neighbors up to date on what's going on in the market, what homes went under contract, what homes sold, and what homes have newly come onto the market. It's a great way of advertising your home without it being thrust at a buyer. What'll happen is they'll go online, they'll go to look up the open house schedule, they get referred back to my website, and your home is there. So while they're browsing my website, your home is there and available for them to see the listing. Another thing that I do affiliated with that is I write blogs for buyers and for sellers, people that are just have general questions, and before they start the search or they start wanting to sell their home, they go online and they Google it. And I come up in Google, I've bought Google AdWords. Again, it drives them back to my site. It drives them back to your listing. And that is the reason why I do it. Plus, my job as a realtor isn't always about just necessarily listing somebody's home or selling somebody's home. Sometimes it's helping educate people on the process. I want to also talk about the social media aspect. I know some people are hesitant about it, but realtors are really utilizing it as a way to communicate with one another. So allowing your realtor to create a Facebook page for your home or a Foursquare check-in allows us to share it with our colleagues. It's not always about just reaching the buyers, but it's about reaching the realtors as well. Next, I want to talk about 2 things. I want to talk about the print publications that we do, as well as our open houses, because they do go hand in hand. One of the most common print ads that we still do is our open houses. We always make sure that they are advertised in Newsday. Now, open houses, depending on the realtor, everybody has a mixed opinion on them. I feel that it is better to do them than to possibly lose out on a buyer who's attending them. So what I do is I always make sure that mine are advertised in the paper, as well as I send out an e-card inviting my buyers and my sellers to know that your home's listed and it's having an open house. Additionally, I add a sign rider the week of your open house. This way anybody driving by your home sees that you're going to have an open house that upcoming weekend. Sometimes people will drive by on their way home from work and they're just so frantic that they'll look at the house and they'll say, oh, I should look that up. The open house sign gives them an open invitation. It sets you apart. It makes you a little bit unique. And that's something we always strive for. I always say, every home's unique and let's market it that way. So I always try and do things a little bit out of the box. What I also do for my open houses is rather than give people a just sheet of paper with your information on it, I like to give them a packet. We cannot control whether we are the first open house they are going to or the last. And let's face it, if I put a piece of paper in my car and it's not in some sort of folder, it usually gets crumpled, misplaced. So by giving them an actual folder, it sets it apart. It gives them something to hang on to. What I put in the folder is, of course, your highlight sheet. I also do a virtual tour DVD. I also give them information about our community, though. Things like the school district, local restaurants, the school times, the locations, a little bit of a history on the town that the listing is in. I also provide them with some additional information from Coldwell Banker, telling them that we have the Coldwell Banker mortgage services, giving them information on concierge, also giving them information on things about what they need in a home versus what they want in a home. Coldwell Banker has a 10-page pamphlet specifically for buyers containing a lot of information that's good for them to have. What that does is it gives them a reason to hold on to your listing. A packet that's filled with information that they will need, whether they buy your home or not, is always a good thing because it will always keep your house there. They will always associate that packet with your home. Let's take a second and talk specifically about home enhancement. The easiest and best way to enhance your home is to make sure that you get top-notch photos. Remember, these are your first impression. It's what buyers are going to see online. It's going to affect how many detailed views that you get in your online showing report. So it's always best to make sure your pictures are top-notch. Remember, your home only needs to be picture perfect one day. Buyers will understand that you're living in your home and not everything's going to be perfect when they come to view it, but you always want to make sure those pictures are absolutely 110% done correctly. I'm a real estate agent. I am not a photographer, and I will be the first one to admit it. I often will hire a professional photographer at my own cost to come in and take the photos for me. There's a couple of different reasons. I can do my job as a real estate agent very well, but again, I am not the best photographer. So I have my professional photos done for my listings. What I will also do for some homes is I choose to have them staged. This is a very, very good tool for homes that are vacant. One, you don't want the house to be shown as vacant online for safety reasons. You always want them to think that somebody is still living in the house. Another reason is if you have dated furniture that you don't want in the pictures, virtual staging is a great way of not having to worry about having furniture brought into your home, risking it being damaged while it's there, and then having it moved back out. Virtual staging allows them to actually virtually stage it. There is an online technician who goes in and pretty much photoshops the picture and puts the furniture in. But the point is they use realistic furniture. You cannot tell that it's not really there. In the next two slides, I will show you the differences that it can make as far as turning a vacant house into a fully furnished house. Another good thing to consider doing is to do some painting. I've had some homes that had very dark walls and they didn't photograph well. So putting a nice neutral color on the walls was able to really bring out the size of the room. Again, you want to highlight what is special about your home. If you have a huge living room, you want it to show that way. Another suggestion sometimes I will make is if your carpeting is extremely old, it's a very simple fix. And you will be able to see in the photos that I'm actually going to show you. The only things that were done was about $2,000 worth of work, and it was painting and carpeting. So let's take a second and take a look at the examples. This is my listing before the work was done to the house. You can see the living room had a dark green paint in it. The den in the lower left-hand corner had some older forest green carpeting and is obviously before it was virtually staged. This is the house afterwards. Most people will not even believe that it is the same house. We put a neutral paint on the living room walls and traded out the dark green carpeting for a lighter neutral tan. Couldn't beat it. And then we did the virtual staging, which showed how big the rooms were and all of the furniture they could really accommodate. Another great way to enhance your home is by allowing me to put a home warranty onto it. With all of the homes on the market, you want to make sure that you offer a little bit more, and a home warranty is a great way to do that. I put them on all of my listings, and it covers all of the major items: the foundation, the electrical, and the plumbing. This is a great thing, especially with a market filled with first-time home buyers. It really gives them a sense of security that the home that they're purchasing is going to work for them. It's their safety net. And let's face it, when you go to the store and you're asked if you want to put a home warranty, if they told you it was free, you would always say yes. So if it comes down to two homes that they're deciding between, and there's one that's offering a free home warranty and one that is not, buyers are more likely to go with the home that has the warranty. Statistics also show that homes that have home warranties usually will sell faster and for closer to the asking price. So this is a great tool. It's a way to enhance your home, and it's something that costs you nothing. And it's something we're able to also do additional advertising for. We're able to do this by adding the additional sign rider. Again, it's something to catch their eye when they're driving by. They're used to seeing the company name, phone number, and the agent's personal information. What they're not used to seeing is a free home warranty offered with the house. Coldwell Banker Residential is a full service brokerage. And what that means for our clients is we're able to offer much more. We are affiliated with Coldwell Banker Home Loans as well as Skyline Title Company and the Coldwell Banker Insurance and Coldwell Banker Concierge Services. Now, the Coldwell Banker Home Loans is affiliated with us, and it's great for sellers because it allows you to ask for the second pre-qualification. This way you never get tied up with a buyer who may not be able to actually make the purchase. Again, it allows your buyers to have one-stop shopping. The Coldwell Banker Concierge is a wonderful tool for both homeowners and for the buyers. It is all reputable companies and contractors that we've worked with and that our clients have worked with and recommended back to us. This is something that is at no cost to you. It's simply a perk of working with a full service brokerage. Now that I've had the chance to tell you a little bit more about the companies that we are associated with, I want to take a minute and talk a little bit about Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage. Now, you're probably saying, I've interviewed other Coldwell Bankers. They didn't offer these things. And that's because we are not an individually owned company. Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage is actually owned by NRT. And we have both offices locally and we have them nationwide. Just like you're interviewing a realtor, when I decided to go into real estate, I had to decide what brokerage I wanted to work for. And the reason I chose Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage was because of all of the services we are able to offer our clients to help them get their home sold. There is nothing better than one-stop shopping. And first-time buyers, second-time buyers like to be able to go to one place and get it all done. So they can find the house with us, they can get the mortgage through us, their title through us, our insurance through us, and it is all done in-house. That's the reason why I chose to work for Coldwell Banker Residential, and I hope that's the reason you will choose to let Coldwell Banker Residential list your home. Well, that is the end of my virtual presentation. I want to point out that if you're looking for additional information, you can go to my website, KristenSellsHousesNow.com. There is an entire section for homeowners, frequently asked questions, some blogs that might be helpful to you. There is also detailed information about the company and everything that we are associated with. You are more than welcome to utilize the chat feature if you have any questions. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I am always more than happy to answer any questions that you have. If you're looking to see what your home is worth, please be sure to call me directly on my cell phone. Is always the best way to reach me. The number is 631-357-9880. And I do hope to be hearing from you soon. And thank you again for viewing my virtual presentation.